Hello, I'm joined by Stephen Streeter, who's the founder and chief executive officer of Forbidden Technologies, to discuss the recent strategic update and give us an overview of the business. Stephen, welcome.
Thank you, Julian.
So to begin with, I think it'll make sense if you just tell us what Forbidden Technologies does and how it's different from other companies that do similar things.
Okay. Forbidden Technologies has a professional video platform initially, which we're now extending consumer video platform, and it runs on the internet. So we're actually one of the first cloud video platforms out there. We launched our solution in 2004, and for the last 10 years we've been selling almost exclusively to professionals. Mm-hmm. And what it allows you to do is make television programs through a web browser on any PC or Mac. So our typical customers are production companies and facilities houses for TV. We have typically about 100, 120 TV programs being made at any one time. So if you've watched any television, you will have seen programs made on our system. More recently, we've decided to extend our reach of our customers beyond the rarefied few in broadcast to cover, at one end, a mass market consumer product called EVA, mm-hmm. which is much simpler use case, really shoot and share use case. And now this year we're going to be launching a new product to fill the gap between the very high volume mobile consumer market with EVA and the very rarefied professional broadcast and now increasingly sports product Foreseen. And that is, we don't have a name for it yet. So that will come out later this year.
And as I understand from the announcement, it's still called Brand Y.
Yes, we're calling it Brand Y at the moment. Brand X was EVA, so now we have a name for that, but we don't yet have the name for Brand Y.
I see. And what other changes have there been in your strategy? I understand that the USA is more of a focus now.
Yes. So a year and a half ago, we raised a significant sum of money to push the platform forward and to broaden our appeal, both geographically and in the product. And we spent last year, 2014, we spent a lot of resources on improving our platform. So the two really biggest things that were recognisable in professional side were a new, what we've called a media asset manager, that combines the main administrative features of the platform, because all the big companies have to manage their media, manage their users on the cloud system. Obviously they have users, be able to transfer their assets around. So we've launched a new media asset manager, which we've never had before. Mm-hmm. And on the creative side, we've traditionally sold to the loggers and the producers and the directors who are sort of like in charge of the program, but not so much to the editors themselves. And we've launched a complete new user interface for the editor to appeal to creatives, and that's been very well received. So that's on the professional side. And on the consumer side, we've been working on EVA, which is our mass market consumer product, and preparing the ground for Brand Y. So what we've realized is, particularly in North America, mm-hmm. is it's a completely huge continent, and you can't go and meet people face to face all the time like we used to in broadcast in the UK. The market is much bigger, and you need far more emphasis on digital marketing and digital sales. So we have a new website for Foreseen, foreseen.com. We have a new website for EVA, eva.co. But particularly in the professional side, we're attacking it much more through digital marketing, email campaigns, social media, all the modern techniques.
But can you explain how you monetize each product at the moment?
Yes, so the broadcast end, we typically have very high volumes of content for reality television series, for example, unscripted television, and we charge a monthly fee for each user, typically £125 a month, and television program might have 3 or 4 people using it at a time. A big TV series might have 20 or 30. So we just charge a monthly fee, and that means there's no upfront capex cost to use the system. You can just pay as you go, pay as you use it. We're moving towards a more, at least the option of a bulk purchase, because some of these big production companies could pay a flat rate and use it across all their productions, and that will encourage them to use it for more things, in particular for editing, and across more of their productions. In sports, instead of charging £125 a month, we charge £250 a day is our rate card. It's significantly more, and they use it for much more of the workflow. So they'll take a live video feed coming in, they'll edit it immediately, and whereas previously they had to send an editor to the location in order to be able to edit it, now they put the content in the cloud, and the editor can stay where they are, and so they can have a 40 event series, for example, they don't have to leave their office. So it saves a lot of money in travel and expenses and hotel bills and insurance and overtime. They can just stay where they are and use the system. So that's how we monetize sports. We just charge a lot more and they use a lot more of the platform. On the consumer side, for Eva is going to be a free app as part of our social media platform, social video platform. And the idea there is to get into the millions of monthly active users. And people will just shoot and share, and they will be able to follow each other's content. And in fact, we have various videos on our website showing you how that works. But a percentage of those will want to edit their content to some degree. So what Eva does is it feeds a pipeline of millions of users down to maybe tens or hundreds of thousands who want to do sort of light editing, and this is where Brand Y comes in. They will choose the interesting bits, they'll make their stories, they'll do their summaries, and then that will move to the prosumers who want to do more work, and maybe the small businesses. So Brand Y is taking the Eva users up as far as they'll go, and on the other side, Foreseen is moving to a much bigger audience through just extending the marketing beyond face-to-face in broadcast, particularly through sports, and maybe the enterprise corporate market, where companies don't want just an editor or just an archive system, they want a whole solution. And of course, Foreseen, although we talk of it as an editor or a logging tool, it actually includes the whole media asset manager, archive system, it's got metadata for search so you can find your content, it's got review and approval, so it's a whole video platform. In fact, it's a perfect solution for an enterprise that want to handle all their video needs. And of course, it also includes publishing to social media, internal publishing, monitoring of who's watched what, all that side of things. So there's potentially an enterprise market there.
And you've got a fair amount of cash on the balance sheet at the moment. And are there any specific plans for that?
Yes, so this year, so last year was a big investment in the new infrastructure, the new platform, so we could go to companies and say, you know, you've tried to make your own cloud video solution, you haven't really worked it out, why don't you license our solution? So we have a platform that people can resell much more easily and can scale much more easily. So that's what we spent last year. So this year there's less development work needed because we have those platforms, but what we're moving into is slightly bigger consumer emphasis with Brand Y and Eva, and there'll be money spent on marketing. But the professional side we're still investing in as we push into editing, which is a much more valuable proposition as we've found in sports. So in broadcast we'll be pushing into editing too.
Fascinating. And is there anything in particular that an investor should look out for in 2015?
I think any investor will be able to use Eva. I mean, for a long time we've had Foreseen available and we've had free shareholder offers, and we've had a sort of prosumer offer, Clash, which people can download and play with. But if you're not really into video editing, you won't find that very interesting because it's a video editing application at heart. But Eva is much more of a social application for a mass market consumer. You don't need instructions, you don't need to go to a media studies course to use it. So I think Eva is the application that people will enjoy using. There's already a free register app on the App Store for iPhone, and you can download that and register your name. So if you don't want to be Julian 8512, you can download the app and register the Julian name, for example. Although by the time this goes out, you might have missed your chance.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much indeed. And if you'd like any more information, please visit the Edison website or Forbidden Technologies website.